So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea. Then they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days into the wilderness and found no water. Exodus 15:22. This is the first time we would find during the Exodus that the Israelites are seen to be in need of water. This would concur with the theory that supplies of fresh water taken from their last filling stations had run out. After the crossing, they stop at a place called Marah for what seems to be a limited water source. Soon afterwards, they arrive at a place called Elim, in verse 27, where it states, "There were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees, so they camped there by the waters." It would go without saying that such a large number of people will be in serious need of drinking water in such harsh, dry conditions. This oasis describes a small, fertile area that strongly points out presence of an abundance of underground springs. Such a spot would still exist if the source hasn't dried up, and precisely 12 wells should be found as well. Along this southern path to Mount Sinai, there's a perfect match for Elim. Many palm trees, and to this day, 12 wells can still be clearly found. Saudi authorities point this oasis out to be Elim. Roughly a week after departing Elim, they are again in desperate need of water. They arrive at a place called Rephidim to camp, and the people begin to contend with Moses about their thirst. Exodus 17:6. God instructs Moses, "Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock in Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water will come out of it, and the people may drink." At this point, it says the water pours out for them. The text also points out that the place is set somewhere between Elim and Mount Sinai. According to Josephus, the split rock can still be seen at his time, and that it was so big that it could not have been moved. Could it be that this rock can still be seen to this day, testifying to the accuracy to this story? The answer is yes, and it is stunning. This split rock was first discovered by an American couple working as foreign experts in Riyadh during the 90s. The local Bedouins had 2 names for this area. 1, the Water of Moses, and 2, the Split Rock of Moses. It sits on top of a 100-foot hill and stands roughly 50 feet high. What's very interesting about this location in this valley is that the rocks directly under Horeb is smooth, as though an incredible amount of water poured through, which appears to have formed a small lake at the bottom, where a great number of people would have been able to draw from. Locals still speak about what Moses did here, but the Bedouins occasionally try to keep foreign visitors away. Near the foot of Horeb is a small rocky outcrop that appears to be an altar. The stones have been carefully placed together. Exodus 17:15 says, "And Moses built an altar and called its name, 'The Lord is my banner.'" Nearby was found a shard of stone with an engraving with the words, "Place of Rest." Hebrew translation, Rephidim. In this very same area of Rephidim, it is written in verse 8 that Amalek, who is the grandson of Esau, came down with his people and fought with Israel. This battle is generally glazed over during studies of the Exodus. However, it is made very clear that they went into battle. We know from the previous episode that the Israelites were indeed armed, as indicated in chapter 13, verse 18. By the end of the battle, it is said that Joshua and his men defeated the Amalekites and his people with the edge of the sword. Found in this valley were stone shards with engravings that attest to the battle. Dr. Miles Jones, a scholar of ancient Hebrew, has translated one of these shards that reads, "Died Amalekite." Another found nearby was a stone that corroborates with that. "Died Hagar and Amaya, daughter of Hagar." These are female Hebrew names, connecting the deaths of these Amalekites to Hebrews who had some kind of conflict in Rephidim. It is a perfect match with the biblical account. The Bible tells us that God told the Israelites that they would possess the land wherever the soles of their feet touch. Near the split rock can be found a number of inscriptions scattered in the area of the outline of feet or sole of sandals. Next to one of these are Proto-Hebrew writing that translates as the sole of the foot. Yet there is more. At the cleft of a large boulder are one set of inscriptions that state, "Yah provides a ram." Yah is the Hebrew name for God, a short form of the tetragrammaton name of Yahweh. Just another remarkable testament of the Israelites passing through the area. According to ancient Jewish custom, we are told that they have taken both of these two passages in Scripture concerning the soles of the feet very seriously. It all ties with their long-since claims over the land that God promised them. In Tel Gilgal, a place where they encamped after crossing the Jordan River to begin taking possession of the land, is the very first set of stone circles within the Promised Land that is surrounded by a very large outline of a foot. There are a total of 7 of these types of sites found around Israel with the shape of a foot. Therefore, with these carvings of feet in Arabia only being life-size, we know that these weren't made to be making claims over the particular land, since these parts weren't promised to them, but rather to celebrate or anticipate what is to come. Another area nearby Rephidim is a place locally called Wadi Musa, which is translated as the Valley of Moses. Here, discovered by Dr. Sung Has Kim, is the earliest depiction of a menorah ever found, likely inscribed soon after the Ark of the Covenant and the other holy furnishings were made, including the menorah. Next to the menorah are other sacred carvings that seem to symbolize other artifacts that are difficult to identify, but this 7-lamp, 2-level base menorah is unmistakable. Jethro, the father-in-law to Moses, came down to meet with Moses at this point. It is important that we establish Moses' connection to Jethro and this land of Midian, which was created during his previous time spent here in exile. If we can pinpoint where Jethro was settled, we can locate the place where Moses would have lived. Well, just west of Horeb is the town of Al-Bad. Located here is the evidence we are looking for, at the site of a place called Midian, and what are known by the locals as the caves of Jethro. Midian is the Aramaic term for Midian, which aligns with the biblical account, and it's been suggested that the entire land of Midian is named after this site, Midian. The Saudi government has preserved this site as the home of the tribe of Jethro. Nearby is a site that has an ancient well, also highly protected by the locals. The Saudis have long held that this is the site that Moses met with the daughters of Jethro. The Muslims venerate Moses as a holy prophet and maintain that Moses lived here under the house of Jethro. It is only less than a 2-day journey on foot to the holy mountain, and the area has green pasture land at the higher elevations during the spring and summer months. Join me next time as we approach the valley that the Israelites are to encamp at the base of the holy mountain of God to receive instruction, Mount Sinai, here on Evidence Uncovered.